That's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
Human legal.
But we went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did.
You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news. And we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is... And Joe Rogan believes in dragons! Those ladies try to deplatform me all the time. They should be deplatformed. I think the best way to counter bad opinions is with...
What happens when Joe Rogan finally says, enough is enough? Well, things just got serious. He's filed a massive $150 million defamation lawsuit against the hosts of The View. Yes, you read that right. This isn't just some celebrity. Squabble. It's a full-blown legal drama with bigger twists than a daytime soap opera hosted by angry cats. And the reason behind it? Let's just say The View might have gone too far this time.
I had to read the thing about The View because I just thought it was funny.
What's the
That's the
View?
only reason why I read that about me.
Dragon lover.
Joy Behar was trying to say that I believe in dragons.
Wait, what is this? I just
She
heard
said,
about
I checked it. And the lady goes, did you double check it? She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
Should be like
You think they lived
Sasquatch,
alongside of
bitch.
people?
Wait,
It was from a wildlife biologist who came on my podcast. So this is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she
What?
by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only
The View, known for its loud debates and fiery hot takes, finally crossed a line with Rogan, the guy who once calmly argued about DMT with a neuroscientist for hours. But this time, he's not debating. He's suing. Hard. Rogan looked at their comments and basically said, "This is beyond wild. Even for me."
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. And they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her. And, they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show. I think the way before you start, I think the way you described it is brilliant, and the way we should all look at it. Of course, you're going to see race. The idea of being colorblind is ridiculous, but treat everybody. They're just human beings.
Yeah.
Everybody's just...
Like most big messes, it all started on that infamous couch. The hosts launched into one of their typical rants, and this time, Rogan became their target. But they didn't just criticize him. They made claims that he was dangerous to society, way beyond just not liking his podcast. That's when it turned from opinion into potential defamation.
We have to stick with it. You can't just pick and choose when you want to use the First Amendment. I mean, I agree that Joe Rogan is a horror. I mean,
I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners.
then
He's got a $100 million contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says,
That's fine.
this is misinformation.
So a lot of people, they would remove Fox TV also. You can try to get Fox off your Cablevision if you want.
Well, there should be disclaimers.
Or disclaimers, but you can't just cancel the show because we have the First Amendment.
I agree with that.
All right.
I think people are hungry to have open conversations, disagreements, debates, and they don't want to be told how to feel about it. They want those people to have their conversation, and they want it to be up to them. Just like when they watch TV and media and news, they want to make their own decision.
Well, that's what we do on...
This isn't the first time The View has gone off the rails. Who could forget Whoopi Goldberg's bizarre take on the Holocaust, or Joy Behar mocking Mike Pence's religious beliefs before backtracking? And Sunny Hostin. She's been known to toss around theories with all the confidence of someone guessing a Wi-Fi password. So it's not surprising they took a swing at Rogan, but they may have swung too hard this time.
worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is okay. And Joe Rogan believes in dragons. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because it's so
On TV.
crazy.
Usually, Rogan brushes off criticism. But this time, he's saying, let's settle it in court. And The View wasn't ready for that. The show that thrives on chaos and loud opinions is suddenly facing real-world consequences. Turns out, if you claim someone is a public health risk on national TV, you might need proof to back that up. Ironically, these same hosts once said COVID could be cured with a good attitude and one vaccine shot. The medical advice came from people who can barely pronounce immunology, let alone explain it. But calling Rogan a health hazard? That's what led to this lawsuit.
It is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.
And
well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So, because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when a show gets really, really popular, you know, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
Right.
Those people will try to get tickets before anybody else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use a service anymore. They just get actual fans. But arguably, like, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those.
Let's be clear, Joe Rogan is no stranger to controversy. He's hosted everyone from scientists to UFO chasers on his podcast. But there's a difference between exploring wild ideas and being accused of causing people harm. That's why he's fighting back. Because what The View said wasn't just harsh, it was potentially damaging to his reputation. While Rogan's legal team is building a solid case with evidence and witnesses, The View is scrambling. Emergency, meetings, lawyers running around, and confused interns trying to explain burden of proof to a panel that thinks yelling equals winning. Imagine the chaos. Whoopi acting like she's above it, Joy Behar calling it an attack on free speech, Sunny floating the idea of countersuing, and Sarah Googling how to fake her own death to avoid the courtroom.
I mean, in fairness, though, I mean, The View has to be, you know, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's
dumb.
deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it.
But this isn't a free speech issue. It's about drawing a clear line between opinion and false accusations. There's a big difference between saying, I don't like Joe Rogan, and saying Joe Rogan causes people to die. One's an opinion, the other's a legal problem, especially if it's said on national television without proof. And the internet? Oh, it exploded. Memes flooded in, showing Rogan as a courtroom warrior and The View hosts as panicked cats. One meme joked, Joy Behar finds out yelling louder doesn't win lawsuits. Even people who normally criticize. Rogan found it hard to defend what The View did.
It's a very strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny's very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's sort of. I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones don't have to name any names. Are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart but captured.
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Joey Behar, whatever her name is, as like a news source.
No. This is the most important part.
I don't know.
Hey, this is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only a part of what he said.
I can't
the
believe
other
Joey
part of what he
Behar
said
didn't
was
weigh.
there was something before that where he was.
Still, some loyal fans of the show are sticking by it, insisting they're just trying their best. That's cute, but trying your best doesn't excuse spreading serious lies. And right now, The View's legal defense seems to be little more than pretending it's all a misunderstanding. Meanwhile, Rogan's team is going full steam ahead, with solid facts and expert backing. The View hosts, probably wondering if being offended is a valid legal defense. But this case is bigger than just Rogan and The View. It's about holding media personalities accountable. It sends a message. If you use your platform to make big, damaging claims, you better have the proof. Because sooner or later, someone, like Rogan, will challenge you, and you'll regret not sticking to celebrity gossip and latte chats.
Set women back is The View. You want to talk about that show? If the CIA is engineering, Antifa and the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
X.
Okay. Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X.
And the cherry on top? The possibility of The View having to read a public apology on air, watching Whoopi try to look serious while admitting fault, or Joy Behar saying, "I was wrong," without combusting in sarcasm. Now that would be prime time gold. At the heart of it, Rogan isn't suing because his feelings are hurt. He's doing it to stand up against reckless media attacks. This isn't about fragile celebrities. It's about drawing the line between free speech and flat-out defamation. And the irony, the same people who constantly shout about misinformation are now being sued for, wait for it, spreading misinformation.
Is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC
people,
viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't even think the MSNBC viewers. I think
that's
they're a
too
little
far.
bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives who are mad at the world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg has. Does Whoopi have children?
No idea.
It's interesting too, like really politically motivated older women who don't have children.
Yeah.
They're
If Rogan wins, it could change how TV shows operate. It might finally force talk shows to do some fact-checking before running their mouths. Imagine that. Accountability on daytime TV. Who knew? So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Daily Finder.